Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed, online, and at the cinema. From the kids who are closing in to seal your doom, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Ezra.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Helena.
Happy Halloween!
Welcome to
like
Spooky
3
Month.
weeks or whatever. Obviously we have a Halloween-themed episode for y'all today. But before we get to that, let's get to what we've seen. Let's prepare for the Halloween season with some movies, because we're a movie podcast. Shocking.
What?
Oh shit,
Helena, I
fully misread the brief. I'm so sorry.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry to tell you this. It's a movie podcast.
Shit.
Where we talk about movies.
Shit.
Wow.
This is
I'm
extra
really
funny
surprised
because
you've gone along with my bit
I
for 2 years without
haven't
knowing that.
fucking watched any movies again.
There we go. It all becomes clear.
Hence the
my
confusion.
defense.
Now we understand. So I saw The Terminator, the first one, and Halloween in a double feature, which was the, men who just keep walking at you double feature. Which was very good, actually. I had never seen Terminator, and the people I was watching it with had never seen Halloween, except for Andrew had seen Halloween. He had seen them both. So we got to do kind of a little movie swapperoo.
That's fun.
And it was very fun. Very much enjoyed Terminator. Kind of wish I had seen it without having the, Terminator cultural osmosis that is just unavoidable.
Right.
The reveal of him walking out of the fire. I'm like, I was thinking, God, this would have been so bitchin' if I didn't know what he looks like under the skin, but I super do. Because I have grown up in a world where Terminator exists.
Yeah.
So it goes. I watched Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is not the final chapter. It's the fourth one, and there's 5 more. But, they really thought that was going to be the end of it. They set up Corey Feldman to be Jason the second, and then they just kind of dropped that and kept going.
Corey?
Yeah, he's very young in this movie, and
Yeah.
he and his sister are the only people, sorry, spoilers, I guess, for Friday the 13th final chapter, but he and his sister are the only people to survive that movie, and they kind of set it up that he is, now going to be Jason. And then, of course, they were like, anyway, moving on.
Never mind.
Jason is the old Tommy who? We don't know him. I saw 30 Days of Night, which is that vampire movie where they're in Alaska and the sun goes down and doesn't come up for a month and they have to survive vampires, and it's real good, actually. I thought it was going to be kind of goofy, but I ended up having a very good time, and, there were some points where I was like, all right. But otherwise, I think it was really well done. And then I saw E.T., which I haven't seen in a really long time. I think I last saw it in middle school, and it just was, very emotional as an adult. There's a point where he's, the government has quarantined their house or whatever, and he and E.T. are hooked up to machines, and he's crying. And as an adult, children in pain is one of the worst things for me to experience on screen, and I was just crying. I just was I know, he's just so upset. It's his friend. It was really a lot. I wasn't externalizing any of this, of course. I was sitting on the couch quietly sniffling to myself. In my head, I was screaming.
Yeah.
But, obviously, E.T., classic, real good. And then I watched all of the Halloween Psych episodes. They have 1 or 2 episodes per season, and I was like, it's been a while since I've seen all of them, and I haven't seen some of them, actually. Just went through and watched all of them. They hold up. There were a couple that I was like, oh, this one wasn't very fun, but for the most part, they're all, very goofy, and you can tell exactly what they're trying to reference in the style of the episode, which was great.
Cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's
fun.
what I saw.
Moi?
Sure.
Let's see. I've been having a spooky month because it's Halloween. It's the whole month is Halloween.
Yeah.
So everything I've been watching has been like that. So I got started on. Okay, I revisited The Haunting of Hill House miniseries because I had initially started watching it a while ago and then lost interest somewhere in the second episode, for some reason, because I had a lot of stuff going on, and then for some reason recently I was like, I need something to put on while I'm like making dinner, so I put it on again. And then I ended up binging it, lol. I did the same thing with the second season, which is The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is an adaptation of Turn of the Screw, which has a lot of the same actors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Yeesh. They were both very good. I enjoyed them. You know, he has that thing. People have been making fun of Mike Flanagan, the director, creator, frequent writer of these shows recently, because he's got another one out called Midnight Mass, and there is something that he does which, once somebody points it out to you, or if you notice it, like, you can't stop noticing it, where he does have his characters monologue a lot and just talk, and they can go on for quite some time, and it's I'm almost fond of it at this point. I'm just like, no, here they go. They're having another monologue. But that's definitely there. But there's a really, really strong cast. Really, I mean, everyone's talked about the kind of midpoint of Haunting of Hill House was like episodes 5 and 6 are really tragic and like technically really, really cool. I really enjoy them. And that's my Henry Thomas contribution. The kid who's in E.T., because he's plays the dad as a young man in Haunting of Hill House, and then he plays the uncle in Haunting of Bly Manor too.
Madeline told I saw E.T. with Madeline and Leia, and Madeline was like, "Yeah, he's in," and I was like, "Hello?"
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah, he's good. They're all very good. My wife, Carla, God, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Is it a hard G both times? Gugino? Gugino? I don't know. But she's the mom in Spy Kids, and I have been in love with her since I was a kid, and she's the mom in Haunting of Hill House, too. There's lesbians. It's great. Anyway, I've watched those. I watched M, the classic from 1931 with Peter Lorre about the serial killer. Fucking good. So good. I watched Diabolique, which is it's a French movie from 1955 about this wife and the mistress who conspire to kill the husband. But things do not go exactly as planned. Ha ha ha. Because if they went as planned, there'd be no movie, as we all know. I saw The Bride of Frankenstein because the Criterion Channel is doing they're bringing in some Universal monster movies this month. It is now one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it so much. It is 75 minutes long. It is campy as fuck. Nobody has the same accent. There's a part where a dude has these little small people inside jars that he made with science, and he's made them archbishop and king and queen, and it's what the fuck is happening? There are special effects in here that I do not know how the hell they did. It is iconic, it is queer, it is amazing. I am in love with it. And one of the best things about it, too, was, I was finally getting about 1.5 million Young Frankenstein references also, which was nice. And in addition to, of course, watching Haunting of Bly Manor, I also watched The Innocents, which is another adaptation of Turn of a Screw, from 1961 with Deborah Kerr. And that one was creepy. I started to watch it in the evening, and I could not finish it that night. I had to finish it the next morning. I was freaked out. I was also very tired, but the sound design was in fact getting to me. That was really good. Check that out. That's also on the Criterion Channel. All of the things that I mentioned are on the Criterion Channel, except for Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor, which are on Netflix, of course. I rewatched Black Christmas, which is a banger. Love it. Loved it even more again this year. Very happy that I got to watch it, that they brought it back. And then last night I rewatched Over the Garden Wall, and I'm happy now. And I've been thinking about it all day. And we played the music at work, and it's autumn. Yeah. I had a lot of emotions at the end of it last night too that I didn't have the first time around, because the first time around you're just I think losing it over how good it is, and then the second time is okay, this is actually I'm getting more of the themes here. The themes are killing me emotionally. So, yeah, that's what I've seen.
Sounds like fun.
Lots of scary movies.
I guess I've mostly been watching TV. Anyway, I caught up. I think I'm caught up on Only Murders in the Building, which is the Hulu original with Martin Short and Steve Martin and Nathan Lane just out here being a national treasure as he always is. That man can do anything. He can do anything. He's just so fucking good. It's like anyway, I love Nathan Lane. That's like kind of the whole pod post about that fucking show.
Yeah.
'Cause he's great. And then so I got an Apple Plus subscription for the express purpose of watching the Foundation adaptation of, Isaac Asimov's famous sci-fi novels, which I have never read because I'm a terrible sci-fi fan. And I was like, I'm watching this like 50% because Jared Harris is in it. And 50% because one of the trio of clones of like the God Emperor of the universe or whatever. One of them is played by Lee Pace. He fucking whips in this. He wears a lot of like very saturated blues and has like, his arms on display.
Excellent.
He looks very good. Crucially, the older version of him, however, is played by Terrence Mann of Broadway fame and also the Dresden Files TV show that Maddie and I love a ton. Yeah, dude, I texted my dad and I was like, guess who's in the Foundation thing? And he's like, what? I'm like, it's Terrence Mann. He's like, how much is an Apple TV subscription? I'll split it with you.
Oh, perfect.
He's so good. Dude, he's so good. We knew. He's an incredible actor. The man is just, should be, 50 times more famous than he is. It's okay. He has a dedicated fan base. Notably including, me and my entire immediate family. The most important thing that I've watched recently is my horrible grocery store job burn down in my wake as I walk away because cool guys don't look at explosions and I got a new job.
Yay!
I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to get emotionally abused by my fucking coworker or make Santa Claus cakes that look like demons or whatever.
Oh my god, dude, bank holidays.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna work in a credit union. I get bank holidays.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a normal human schedule, and more importantly, I'm not gonna have to work on Thanksgiving because the bank is closed.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna have to worry about I'm not gonna have to work on New Year's because the bank is closed. I'm really excited. I feel like it's gonna be a good gig. So everybody listening, cross your fingers for me. I will have started by the time this episode airs. For a fun thing, I get to go out on a high note of Halloween cakes, which was always my favorite part of this job anyway. So, good riddance to bad rubbish. And I'm going to resist the urge to make a cake with the you can just leave skeleton meme printed on it and leave it in the break room when I go.
Please do that.
I might. I also just might not come back if people keep giving me shit, so
I'll beat them up. I won't actually do that. Lawyers are listening. I won't beat anybody up, and also Safeway didn't actually burn to the ground, but theoretically I will destroy them.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I can say the name of it now. Yeah, I have obfuscated the name of my now previous employer online for 4 years.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yep. Yeah, metaphorically in Minecraft, watching my former workplace burn down around everyone's ears. Yeah.
I think what inspired us to do this one? Was it Maddie? Because you had been watching a lot of those Halloween Psych episodes.
I think so. I think that like we were just talking about like Halloween, and Helen and I have been on like kind of a slashers kick, but that's something that Z's not really into. So we were just trying to figure out like, okay, well, what kind of Halloween stuff can we cover? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm watching it all like the Halloween Psych episodes, and that's what kind of led into it, I think.
Yes.
Because that is a more like accessible genre of horror, especially stuff like Shaun of the Dead, the Psych episodes. We have a whole list here. Those are things that, like, even if you don't like horror, you can still kind of participate in them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the first three that I thought of, notably, which were Shaun of the Dead, Young Frankenstein, and What We Do in the Shadows, are all parodies, which I guess is saying something. I mean, there's different kinds of horror comedies, to be sure, but those were the first three that are very near and dear to my heart. And that I try to make an effort to at least watch once a year, in Halloween, or in October.
Every time you say Halloween like that, all I can hear is one of the hosts of the Kill James Bond podcast saying Christopher Lee's name in like an exaggerated impression of his accent. Well, like that's what I'm imagining.
This is his month because he is in many famed Halloween classics, including Horror Express. Remember that movie?
Oh my god, one of the all-time kings of the horror genre in Hollywood and other places where they make movies that are not in California.
Truly, including Corpse Bride.
Yeah, I always forget that that's him in Corpse Bride. I should watch Corpse Bride again.
That's sure him.
That's not a horror. It's not a comedy, but it's like cutesy horror, which is like sort of a subset. It's funny. Spoopy. It's also sad. Spoopy. It's spoopy.
It's gothic. It's, whatever. it's a Tim Burton movie.
It's hard to be afraid of things that are claymationed.
Yes. Yeah. In the same way that like Nightmare Before Christmas is like spooky. But I only watch that. I am, this is far off topic, but I'm of the opinion that I only watch that once a year at Christmas time. To me, it is not a Halloween movie, it is a Christmas movie, but...
No, it's a Christmas movie, which is why I used to like it, and then I got fed up with Christmas stuff, and I don't like it anymore.
Very fair.
Anyway.
So getting back to the thing, what were we talking about? I've lost my... I love how this train of thought just keeps it chugging. Yeah,
much like the Horror Express, it just keeps going.
What else?
That was a terrible joke. No, we're just talking about like there's Shaun of the Dead, like Young Frankenstein, What We Do in the Shadows, movies like that are horror setting comedy action.
Right.
Leia was, friend of the podcast, guest, my girlfriend, etc. I feel like we can stop introducing her by all of those appellations. I don't, because I think it's funny. Was talking about how you can have like setting genres and plot genres. Mm-hmm. And in some of these movies are like, the setting is horror, but the plot is comedy.
Right.
Versus like other movies like American Werewolf in London, Jennifer's Body, the original Fright Night maybe more than the remake. The remake I think is more of a comedy that uses horror elements. Otherwise, why would they have made David Tennant up like that? Besides specifically to torture Helena.
Yeah.
Where you have horror movies that are funny. I'm actually just gonna add, for once I'm gonna repeat something verbatim from the notes because I liked the way that I said it. Where, you have horror movies that include comedy, and they use the contrast with the comedy to make the comedy funnier and the horror more horrific. Or you have horror comedies that juxtapose those two to make the comedy funnier and defang the horror so that those elements are still present, but they are something that you can laugh at.
Yeah. I feel like a really good example of something that, like, what was the way that you put the first kind that, like, makes the horror more horrifying is, like, I think that's where Evil Dead falls into. Where a lot of, I think, splatter films that go really over the top with the kind of, like, the insane shit that they're doing, to the where it is intending to be funny, but it's also, like, mad scary. I feel like what that's trying to do. And then, like, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is an underrated movie that you should all watch, is one that's, like, defanging the horror a little bit, because it's generally it's pretty gruesome, but it's never too much for me personally, because it's like because it's so purposefully ridiculous. And you're too busy worrying. Like a good comedy, you're more worried about, like, how are these two guys going to get themselves out of this situation, because it's a classic, like, comedy of errors more than it is with an element of horror. So like,
we love to see it.
Help these guys, please. Yeah, I was reading an article that was saying, like, yeah, Midsommar is a comedy, and I was like, is it? I don't know if it is.
I have not seen Midsommar. I think that falls under the category of stuff that I might actually be able to watch.
Yeah.
I will not be watching Hereditary. Sorry, Ari Aster.
No.
Absolutely fucking not.
Funny, because that one's, like, not a comedy, but the showing that I went to for Hereditary, there was a lot of laughter. But I think that was mostly people, like, trying to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not de-escalate, not de-stress, but, like, relieve the tension that we were all kind of feeling.
Okay. That was a laugh because you're uncomfortable thing.
Yes. There was just so much tension going on all the time. And some of it, sometimes there would be something that happened that was just, like, so over the top that we were like, that we had to laugh because we were so horrified by it. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I don't know about Midsommar, but that's besides the point. I really am appreciative more than ever of a movie like Young Frankenstein, because now that I've seen Bride of Frankenstein, it's like, wow. I mean, I still haven't seen the first Frankenstein movie, to which this is a sequel. But there's so much, it feels like it's these two that it's directly parodying. I don't think there's anything from Son of Frankenstein that's in there. I mean, besides the obvious fact that he's the grandson. But just, like, the whole, like, every little set piece or plot point, like going to see the hermit in the woods, like, not even very far removed parody, just like, let's take exactly what happens in these movies and let's just play it and try and find what the humor would be in it. Like the hermit scene in Bride of Frankenstein is, like, really moving, and you're seeing the whole time, like, here's where I can see them finding the comedy in it. One of the things that I was surprised that they didn't actually, like, make up was there's a moment where the hermit is smoking with Frankenstein. And at one point, Frankenstein actually does, like, smoke a cigar in Bride of Frankenstein. And that's a moment that I thought was just going to be, like, in Young Frankenstein. It's something that they made up. But no, it's something that he starts to do in Young Frankenstein, but then the humor of Young Frankenstein is actually lit his thumb on fire instead.
Yeah.
So, and even, like, he stops at the hermit's cabin in Bride of Frankenstein because he hears the hermit playing the violin, and it's not quite, but it's very similar to the music in Young Frankenstein that they play that's, like, makes him, you know, like, hypnotizes him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, which he's not, like, hypnotized in Bride of Frankenstein, but it's like the first time I think that he's, like, heard music, so he's very drawn to it, the beauty of it. It's really moving, actually. It's a really moving movie. But yeah, so it was just really, it just elevated it because it's such a faithful adaptation in many, many ways. But it's also just like really, in that sense, it's also really respectful and funnier in that way, you know? I've always hesitated calling Young Frankenstein a horror movie because I was never scared by Young Frankenstein. I generally don't find any of the Universal like monster movies to be scary. They are horror, but like I'm not frightened by them necessarily, you know, just because it's just not so much that the effects are bad, just that they're, you know, it's dated and it's a recognized cultural image, so it doesn't hold that kind of fear anymore, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But Young Frankenstein I was never scared by. I was just always delighted by, so.
Young Frankenstein is delightfully, you know, silly. Which is just good. I don't know. I like Shaun of the Dead. I should watch Shaun of the Dead again. That's one of those ones where, like, I don't think I really appreciated it the first time I saw it. For various reasons. One of which is just like, I don't know. I used to not like movies like this. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure why. I assume it's just because I just so don't enjoy normal, like, I don't like normal horror movies, so, you know, I just go, okay, well, like, I don't like this either, I guess, maybe, I'm not really sure.
I can't remember when I first saw Shaun of the Dead. I feel like I saw it when I was, like, in middle school or something.
I think I saw it in like high school.
Okay.
But I think it was fairly early. I was hesitant to watch it because despite the now massive horror fan you hear before you today, I was a big chicken for most of my life. And this is not mean towards people who don't like horror. I mean, for me specifically, I was afraid of everything. And so I was really nervous to watch it. And it was very pleasant for me to watch it and realize, like, oh, this isn't scary. That was kind of, I think, like, a very, very early foray into, like, well, let's find out what else isn't scary. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I obviously I love that movie. But also I have such fond memories of it being like, oh, like, this wasn't scary for me. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I feel like, I think...
Which is great.
Yeah, I think I would like to... I think I was so turned off of anything related to horror and also, like, honestly, like, got kind of, like, shamed is a little over-the-top description of my experiences around, you know, just not enjoying horror. Mm-hmm. But there were definitely people who were like, I definitely got a decent amount of the "why are you such a fucking weenie" treatment, you know?
Which I think is fucking malarkey, honestly. I don't know. I think that there's such a, like, if you want to start exploring horror as a genre, I would love to, like, be your guide on that journey. And also I think it is very reasonable to set a hard limit of, like, I just don't enjoy it and it's not for me, because it's not for everyone, and that's, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I had a really interesting conversation with my brother, actually, the other day, because... and my mom. My mom didn't realize that I was into horror, and she was like, you hate horror. And I was like, well, I mean, I haven't hated horror in, like, 10 years. But you didn't know that. That's okay. She hates that stuff. My brother does. My dad is a little... there's very specific stuff. He's not into horror as a genre, but he's more flexible in what he thinks is scary.
Fair.
You know, none of my family is really into it, which is, like... And I think that that's completely reasonable. And I mentioned to my brother that there's some genres that I really don't enjoy. Anything that involves, like, ghosts or demons or whatever, for some reason, is, like, too freaky to me. I'm like, I can't handle it, because I think it's because you can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't see it, I can't do anything about it. So I'm just like, nope, too scary. Also, I hate Chucky. I hate that little bitch so
I
much.
hate that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, fucking,
I hate
nope.
that motherfucker so bad.
Listen, anybody, if you've known me long enough, and I've mentioned this on the podcast before, you know that my particular fear that I've had for a very, very long time since I was a child is of ventriloquist dummies in particular, but any kind of haunted fucking dolls.
Yeah, this is a no haunted dolls podcast.
I hate that
fuck
shit.
'em.
The fucking clown in Poltergeist, get fucked. I hate that dude. Chucky can die. I mean,
Chucky, fuck off.
Fuck off. I might
This
watch
is anti-Chucky podcast.
I might try someday just to see if I can handle it, but like honestly,
I've been thinking about it, but I saw a trailer for Seed of Chucky when I was like really little, and it scarred me for life. I had nightmares about Chucky for years.
You know, and similarly, what I know that I can never go to, because I also had a similar experience with just a trailer, was The Grudge, and not even the original Japanese film, but the American adaptation,
the American version,
with Sarah Michelle. I saw that. I can't. I've had nightmares about those little kids crawling up my bed since as long as I can remember, and I shan't be revisiting that. I can't do it.
For me, The Grudge falls in the area of like demons and ghosts and possessions, because she's kind of a ghost, and she's freaky, and like you can't stop her because she's like a ghost. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would like to watch like The Ring and like The Grudge or whatever, but like they're just I just don't like thinking about them too much.
No, I don't either. They're nasty little things.
Somebody explained the plot of The Grudge to me in detail at summer camp once, and then almost...
that was a rude little asshole.
It was, and then almost immediately afterward, this was the second year that I went to sleepaway camp in Canada, and this was the time that I had no friends, and so somebody explained the plot of The Grudge to me, and then almost immediately afterward, the person I was hanging out with, like, was using, it was a really old swing set, so it had one of those like just like single bar things, and she had like flipped up on it to sit on it and then like fell off of it and got a concussion, and so I had to like, you know, I had to like sprint for the nurse's office and shit, and I definitely thought she was gonna die. Even if I had ever considered it, just like weirdly compounded the like absolutely fucking not of and I'm thinking about horror parodies or horror, this kind of thing, and I like them because you're meant to laugh at them, because the only way I can get through like the times where somebody has like just made me watch a horror movie, because you know children are awful, and in the age before everybody had a smartphone, you couldn't just pull out your phone. One time I effectively got stuck at a party that I didn't want to be at, and everybody decided to watch It Follows. Not It Follows, no, Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, much worse.
Which is just like wall-to-wall insanely racist depictions of Roma people, and also like really horrible gross-out body horror. And I remember being almost as horrified at the depiction of Romani people as I was at the body horror, because it's really racist.
Yeah, the whole plot hinges on it, huh?
It's bad. It's Friends. It is. Do not watch that movie. It is really fucking bad. But I pissed everybody off because I just started up like an MST3K style commentary on it, because that was the only way I was going to get through it without having fucking nightmares for like a week. I did the same thing the time that my friends insisted I come to the haunted corn maze with them, which was I just strolled through at the back of the group and complimented the actors on their performances and makeup. Which, in retrospect, was like me being an insufferable dick at age 17, but also like, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, no, you dealt with it the way that like you needed to deal with it, honestly.
You know, so I like sometimes, you know, I'm much more, like, I like movies like this because this is how I would be approaching horror anyway. And it means that I get to work with the movie instead of against it. Mm-hmm. I've had so many things in my life where, like, even if I had been predisposed to, like, develop an enjoyment of horror movies, like, every single time somebody tried to, like, get me to like them by, like, forced exposure therapy was just so awful. That it just put me off of it for another 10 fucking years or whatever. Yeah, just interesting to think about.
It's just not the way to do it. It's just not the way to do it.
I had a lot of asshole friends when I was in middle school.
Yeah, my solution was just to start crying every time someone suggested it, so that got me out of a lot of
Maddie, when I say my friends were assholes, I mean they were the kind of assholes where I would start crying and they would do it anyway.
Lovely.
Oh.
Well, because this was specifically the two girls that I had been friends with since we were in kindergarten, and neither of them ever actually cared that much about my feelings except as a way to get one up on each other.
Love that.
I've talked about them on here before.
Yes. Yeah, little dickheads.
Yep. And little dickheads. Yeah.
See, I was the one person in my friend group. Well, that's not true. I think the one friend group that I had since I was very young, I was one of the people who could handle horror is a strong word, but a lot of the stuff that I was into was really creepy or unsettling. I liked that stuff. I mean, I was into The Witches, which was like my favorite Roald Dahl book, and then I checked the video out from Blockbuster a lot, like literally all the time. So it was like that or Labyrinth, right? Or Scooby-Doo movie, which is also like when you're 6, the live-action Scooby-Doo movies can be pretty scary. Not so much now, obviously. Especially Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which is not my favorite. My favorite was, and is, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. But I was really into that kind of stuff, and in general, I grew up on Scooby-Doo, which, again, is not really scary, but is, like, that vibe, you know? It's, like, intro to horror comedy, almost, in a way.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like really into Coraline. Like I was like a book that I remember like I read when it came out when I was 8, and like I had a lot of friends who couldn't handle it, rightly, because it's a very scary book. I
watched the movie of Coraline like as an adult, and it freaked me the fuck out. Like to an enjoyable degree, I must say.
And
like
what?
That was good, but also like
it's a good movie, and you know what? The book is scarier. Because I remember seeing that movie as an adult and being like, this is very lovely animation, and some of the stuff in it is very creepy. But I was like, well, the Dave McKean illustrations are scarier. They're just scary. But
Dave McKean's shit is like,
oh god.
Some of that shit is just fucked up, dude.
It's just scary, man. It's all in the suggestion.
He knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah, the illustrations in the original Coraline, for those of you who read it as a kid, I'm sure you remember, are just like, they're not color illustrations, they're black and white, and they're like all in shadow. So a lot of them are like suggestions of things, except for like the severed hand of the other mother, which is just like, he takes a full illustration of that thing, and it's just, oh my god. Anyway.
No.
Y'all ever think about the story that Neil Gaiman tells about, like, he wrote the book and his editor was like, nah, man, this is too scary. And he was like, you have a couple of young kids, reach them and see what they think. They're, like, the target audience here.
Yeah.
And the kids were like, yeah, no problem, Mom. And she's like, okay, great, I guess we'll post it. And years later, he saw one of the daughters at, like, an event or something. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember you liked my book. And she was like, it scared my fucking tits off. That book was so goddamn scary, but I wanted to know what happened next, and I didn't want my mom to stop reading it, so...
Yeah. That's the appeal, right? Like, I feel that's, you know, there's still some horror that I can't do. A little secret. In my house, we have a basement. There's a TV down there. Sometimes I would sleep down there when it got too hot in my room. Sometimes
that basement was kind of weird sometimes.
It was kind of weird, and sometimes
I got some vibes in that basement.
It's not haunted, but it could be.
But it's not haunted.
It's not haunted, but it's not haunted. And I used to, I mean, mostly the reason that it's haunted is because I used to stay up past midnight and watch South Park on Comedy Central. Really
those are some vibes that are trapped in there.
Yeah, there's some pretty rancid vibes that are trapped in that basement forever. But one of the things that I also used to do was go on the Comcast.net. This is back when Xfinity Comcast on-demand movies were a thing. I don't know if they still are. And I would look for the horror movies, and I would like skip through the horror movies and just like, if things got really gnarly, see what was up. That's what I used to do as a kid. So I was like looking for, I think that enjoyment, that like not enjoyment, but that like that kick is still what I get sometimes if I need to read the Wikipedia article, is just to see what happens here. Not see it necessarily, but like know what happens. Because there is something exciting about, for me, like that moment of like, I don't know, true spookiness, if you want to go for that, or like the really, really scary moment that I used to kind of look for as a kid, or as a preteen, I guess. But yeah, I've kind of verged far from the topic of horror comedies, but I wonder if there's a way I can tie that back. I have no idea. Like, what's the equivalent of that in a horror comedy?
I don't know, as somebody who used to go, like, just be hanging out in the Hollywood Video and read the back of the horror movies, and then decide that whatever I was imagining here was plenty, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess.
There was a thing going around on Twitter recently that was like, what movie posters when you were a kid, or like movie DVD covers scared the shit out of you when you were a kid, and it was definitely Chucky. It was definitely the poster for Brain Dead, or Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
I want to see that movie, but like the cover, I hated the poster for it, and then like the Candyman cover too, because it's just like literally a person's eye with a wasp like right at the edge of her eye, and I was like, I can't do that. That's not something I can do. I could probably handle the movie now, but it was just like the image of the wasp in the eye I could not do. And I think that there's like something, just wondering if I can tie it back, like there's something very satisfying about those moments of horror in the horror comedies. Not horror so much, but like the part in Shaun of the Dead when David gets like pulled by the zombies back into the like zombie mob, and they gets horribly over the top torn apart by them. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just thinking about like now I'm just thinking about how much I hated Cabin in the Woods when I first saw it. And I'm not sure if it was because I was like, you know, in full, unfortunately, it turns out Joss Whedon is a dickweed backlash mode. Because he is, and that sucks to find out when you, like, were really hype about Buffy for a long time as an adolescent. Not that I, like, honestly, also I, like, should have been able to tell that, but, you know, you grow up and you learn things. I almost want to see it again to see if it has the I don't know. It's like, it was, I mean, horror comedies have to have, obviously, a level of self-awareness. Otherwise, they just don't work. I mean, you know, in the way that, like, all parody has to be self-aware. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But Cabin in the Woods was, like, too self-aware for me.
That's fair, yeah.
There was just, like, I felt like what had been sort of the like unself-consciously quirky elements of Joss Whedon's earlier stuff had tipped over into like a, you know, fucking Revenge of the Nerds style look how clever I am shtick.
Yeah.
For me, I know that is not most people's experience of Cabin in the Woods, like, basically everyone I know loved that movie, and I was like, I am sorry to be a buzzkill, I hated this. Which is too bad, because I love Bradley Whitford.
He and Richard Jenkins are great.
They're great. They're great.
good.
I just couldn't stand the fucking teenagers, but also that movie came out when I was like 19 or 20 and like just was an insufferable dick, so, you know.
Yeah, when did that?
2011.
2011?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Wow.
Yes.
That's forever ago.
We're old.
Didn't see that movie until after I had already seen Dollhouse. Another fun adventure into Joss
Dollhouse.
Whedon's psyche, which is a show
Really wish that I hadn't gone on that adventure into Joss Whedon's psyche. I only ever saw the first, the first few episodes. Like, out of the first 5, apparently I saw the 2 bad ones.
Well,
and decided to save myself the aggravation of continuing to watch that show.
Maddie and I watched a whole bunch of it, didn't we, huh?
I love you guys.
Almost all of it. I didn't see the last episode, but I watched every other part.
I think I saw it. I think I did.
It's bullshit. I almost said bad shit, but my real feelings came through.
Yeah.
I've read the Wikipedia summary of it, and I'm like, oh, well, this is just dumb.
I remember
ain't it?
I remember something that happens in it, and now I'm just mad.
Yeah.
But I had a crush on Frank Kranz from that show, so unfortunately I was like, Cabin in the Woods, this seems fun. Frank Kranz is playing a Shaggy archetype. I can enjoy this. So that was, I think... I saw it years after it came out. I didn't actually see it when it came out.
I always misread that man's name as Franz Kranz.
I know, it's impossible not to. It's begging for
Poor
it.
bastard.
I just assume it's a Sean Bean situation. It's like, no, it's not.
Tragique. The poor man.
Tragique. Hey Maddie, do you want to complain about the Scary Movie movies?
No, because I've never seen them, but I'm sure Helena would like to.
Oh, I misidentified who was typing when everyone was typing at once and we weren't color coding like we sometimes do. Pretend I said, hey Helena, you want to complain about the Scary Movie series? Because I've never seen any of them.
Well, I sure
Really
do.
quick.
I sure would like to. Yes.
Wait. Really quick.
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
like to just throw my hat in the Cabin in the Woods
Of
ring
course.
just so we have the full spectrum.
Please do.
I only saw it last year. So I had quite a bit of distance from the whole Joss Whedon scenario and also didn't realize he made it. I know what you are saying when you say that it is like almost too self-aware, but for me, having now gone through a full journey of like horror understanding, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was too, like, yes, it was very in your face, but I didn't feel like it was trying to be too smart about itself.
Okay.
But I think that's because I was taking it genuinely as a horror movie as opposed to a parody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I decided to just take it at face value.
Oh, okay, sure.
And which I found really worked for me. And I enjoyed the subversions about horror tropes that it did decide to employ, especially at the end. Which I know was also a part you didn't enjoy. But I just felt like because that was a movie I did, and I know, and I feel like I have to, I know that you are not being like, if you think this movie is bad, you suck, because you wouldn't do that.
No, not at all.
And I'm trying not to do a, like, defending a movie, because, like, it doesn't need my defense, it's a movie. But I found it was a worthwhile viewing.
When you like things that I don't, I always want to know what you liked about them, because sometimes it, like, legitimately changes my view on something. Which is, you know, why I like talking to you about... It's why we have a fucking movie podcast, dude. I like listening to you talk about movies. So that's interesting, because I also, like, my experience of that movie is, like, so crystallized in a specific point where, like, I just was, like, an insufferable asshole who was, like, extremely depressed. And therefore just like sort of like not in the mood to enjoy literally anything. Like 2011 Ezra did not want to have fun. So I would be curious to watch it again and like basically just like think less hard about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that like I do think that it is like it is a movie that rewards genre savviness, but does not necessarily reward thinking about it real hard. Because it lays out exactly what it is on a platter. It's not a subtle film, and that's
no.
fine, I think.
Not everything needs to be.
Yeah, I think if you try, I think that is like a, maybe if you pull at it too hard, things start to unravel. But I went into it just being like, you know what, this is a genre-aware film. I'm just gonna kind of have fun and kind of see where it takes me. And I was like, had some good scares. Enjoyed the cinematography. I liked the twist on the, like, because the final girl always has to, like, give up so much to survive, and she ends up this, like, broken, battered shell. And I appreciate at the end the two of them were like, man, fuck it. Fuck the world. Fuck what you're trying to do. I think it's fucked up, and we're all gonna die about it, but, like, I don't care anymore. There was something refreshing in the final girls giving up. Weirdly, but not in a way that's like, I'm like, I guess I'll just die now. It was very much of them taking control of their destiny, even if that was like, now we all die.
Yeah, the refusal to play the game is a victory.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That was very interesting to me. They got to win, even though they died, because so often the final girl, like, lives, but she, like, loses everything in the process. Anyway, I just was like, I just felt like I had to kind of...
Of course,
no. I've been thinking about it a lot recently, so I just wanted to throw my
I'm glad that you said
ring.
something. I did not mean to sort of blow past that.
That's okay, I was just kind of chilling. So, the Scary Movie movies, I haven't seen any of them because they were really starting to come out when I was a scaredy cat, and I was like, even these are going to be too scary for me. I think I would like to go back and see kind of how I feel about them now, but apparently they're bad.
Well,
Helena.
I just don't like them. I mean, one of them may be good. Maybe, like, the first one is genuinely funny. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I try to remember which one I've seen, because I haven't seen all of them. I have seen, I think, one or two of them. And I've seen the different movies that these people have made that are, like, the epic movie,
those are... Okay, it is by the same people who did that fucking weird-ass thing.
I'm pretty
Yes, we did see Epic Movie in theaters. I think it's the same people.
Yeah, because it's like... Well, I mean, at least some of them are, anyway. I swear to God, I just want to double check that before I start saying stuff. It's not. So I just want to throw that out there that it's not the same people.
What the fuck?
I know. Well, so that's not true. So the directors are not the same. The writers on Scary Movie did direct then, like, Epic Movie, at least Epic Movie, probably other ones. My problem with the Scary Movie is I just don't think it's good parody, that's all. It makes me really... It pisses me off, because I don't think it's clever, and I think it got, like, a lot of... I don't know... I don't think that they were ever particularly considered to be critically acclaimed, the Scary Movies, but they were popular, and that annoys me when things that I don't like are popular sometimes, because I'm a bad person. And
we're all allowed to be petty from time to time. It is a human right to be petty about dumb stuff.
This is true. And at least, like, I've seen them, so I have a legitimate grievance. I just think that it's not... Again, like, we've talked about parody that, like, has love for its source material, and that love or that knowledge of the source material makes the parody better. And I just don't think that, like, a lot of the times what these movies capitalize on is not something clever about the genre itself or the movie itself, but like buzzwords or what was like well known about those movies, like the joke that they reference in it from like Sixth Sense is the "I see dead people" thing, which is the one line that like everybody knows from the Sixth Sense because it's the line in the Sixth Sense. But there's no like necessarily clever parody of Sixth Sense, and all of these movies parody something so recent too, which also bugs me. Like it just hasn't been enough time for it to settle. And one of the things that really bothered me, because you mentioned Scream on here, and Scream and both Cabin in the Woods are kind of like in that sweet spot where they're not really entirely parodies, or Scream definitely doesn't feel like a parody, but it's very self-aware. And
yes, they're...
Sorry, go ahead.
They're like hanging their hats on well-known tropes, and they're like aware of it, especially Scream.
Yes.
Like the whole point of Scream is the murderer watches these movies.
Yeah, and it's directed by Wes Craven, who is like one of the guys,
king of B horror.
Yeah. And one of the big like the jokes in the Scary Movie is like Ghostface is a villain in the Scary Movie, or some kind of joke in one of the Scary Movies, and it annoys me because the first Scary Movie came out in 2000, and Scream came out in what year did Scream come out? 90.
I would have to double check.
Let me double check for you.
I could do that real quick.
96. So 4 years, and I know that they made sequels, but to me, to try and parody Scream when to me Scream was already so self-aware, and these movies are trying to be, or like pretending to be self-aware but actually aren't, and so people who don't know what self-awareness is are gonna go look at them and say like, hey, this is self-aware because it's making fun of these movies that are stupid, but it's not actually understanding the genres itself or the movies itself. And all of the movies are like that, like this, even like the ones that are deserving of ridicule, perhaps more, like the vampire movie, which was just like their parody of Twilight. You know, like it's such a recent fad. That particular, like the Twilight craze is such a recent fad, and they did a parody on, God, is it the same guys? It's called Meet the Spartans, which is like, yep, it's the same guys.
300 parody.
It's a 300 parody, and it's like that. Who the fucking thinks about 300 anymore? Like. I mean, some people do, obviously.
But it was a meme for a while there, Helena.
I mean,
obviously,
it was a meme.
To...
That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. It's like they capitalize on memes and they get Carmen Electra in there, and it's like there's nothing actually... It's becomes unfunny in like a year or less than that because there's nothing actually funny about it. They're just showing you the same thing and then putting a dick joke in there. It's not anything.
You know what's going on here? Is that now these would simply be like college humor videos.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're college humor videos with a Hollywood budget.
I even think that like college humor videos were happening while these movies were coming out.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And
That's
they should have been just learning from that, like that they can't even match that level. Like
that is actually unfair to college humor. I take it back.
I mean, when we saw
R.I.P. college humor.
You saw Epic Movie in theaters. This is like
sure did.
The saddest thing I've ever said. I mean, even the movies that they parody in that, even the title bugs me because the movies that they parody in it are like Narnia movies and Harry Potter and Pirates of the Caribbean and Borat and like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I'm like, okay. Pirates of the Caribbean, I will grant you.
None of those other films are epics.
None of those are epics. If you want to say like you're doing a parody on recent popular movies or blockbusters, just like find a way to say that, or don't make it because that's stupid and it's gonna become dated in a single hour. Just like say that, because the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is not a fucking epic movie. Like, it's just bad comedy. It makes me so angry. But the Scary Movies ones do make me angry on behalf of, like, Scream specifically. Because I think that Scream is a very good movie with some very talented people involved, and I think it's very clever. And I just, anyway, I can't go on this rant for too much longer, or I'll just keep circling back and eating my argument like a Ouroboros.
Well, I mean, I literally, like, while you were talking, realized that I did not actually understand the first goddamn thing about those movies, and so, you know, now I do. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. Not enjoyable. They have some good people involved once in a while. I mean, like, Anna Faris is in some of these movies. Regina Hall, the late Leslie Nielsen, like, they're in these movies. They're talented actors, but, you know, sometimes talented actors do stuff and you're like, why'd you do that? What's going on?
Michael Caine voice Money, dear boy.
Is Dr. Phil in Scary Movie 4? What's going on? Why is it... Is that just a guy who looks like Dr. Phil? I'm seeing a picture of a movie poster for Scary Movie 4.
Okay, that's...
Dr. Phil? Yep. Nope. That's him. Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil are both in Scary Movie 4. Interesting. Fascinating.
All right.
I'm just going to stick this picture in the Discord for you. This is from Scary Movie 4. That's the lineup that we got there.
Oh, yeah, that sure is Dr. Phil.
Sure
I feel like there's some other stuff that I'm supposed to recognize references here that I simply do not.
He's standing right next to Jigsaw, which is kind of cute. Jigsaw's got the little...
Mr. John Kramer himself?
That's...
Oh,
wow.
No, you're talking about Billy the Puppet.
I'm talking about Billy the Puppet.
Can we... You know what? I think as a palate cleanser, we should talk about something actually good. Or
Saw?
For a given value of good. I mean, you can talk about Saw. I have nothing to add to the conversation when it comes to Saw. Because Saw is a fucking
Sorry, hold on.
For me.
Would you... Helena, you wrote me and Maddie.
I'm trying to upload a picture and it says my files are too powerful.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
I thought you were talking about Dr. Phil and Billy the Puppet, but...
No, wait. Sorry, listeners. I have to make an un-audio friendly joke here.
Really excited to see whatever this is.
Helena's out here doing audio crimes. The option of audio crimes. What the...
Why did they just recreate the fucking puppet?
So that's what I'm saying. That's not even...
That's literally the Saw bathroom! That's the bathroom from Saw!
Yeah, it sure is. Welcome to the Scary Movie franchise.
I can't believe that they just copied the bathrooms from Saw. Alright, whatever. Who cares?
Wow.
Whatever.
Okay then. Okay, I have a potentially stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a puppet in the actual Saw movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not a stupid question at all. That's literally the Saw bathroom. What is happening in this image?
Welcome to the Scary Movie franchise. Yep.
That second toilet isn't there. Anyway, no, there's literally a puppet because you don't see the Jigsaw killer for the... Well, anyway, I'm not gonna go on a thing here, but yeah, he uses the puppet to communicate and he wheels it on his little tricycle.
You know, you want to know a
this
fun fact?
film...
I thought that was a joke. Like I've seen that image before. I thought that was the parody thing.
No, he's real.
I'm still not watching these movies.
That's fine. Saw originated as a student film made by a couple of Australian film students, and you can fucking tell.
Australia's cancelled.
Yeah, the original Billy the Puppet looks so fucked up. It's really funny.
I love
You can tell that they were like, we have $25. We have to make something happen here.
I appreciate
man.
it. So, what was a palate cleanser?
Oh, I was just gonna say, can we talk about something actually good and close out with Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, yes, totally.
Please.
Oft imitated, never equaled.
Yeah. I haven't seen Rocky Horror in a hot minute. But we had a little section right here that was like camp in horror and how that ties in. And I think Rocky Horror is like peak, like top of the list. Everyone wants to be her.
Yeah.
I just like I don't think it is fair to say that Rocky Horror was like kind of the progenitor for like camp and horror and what it would become, because it's too late in the timeline.
Oh yeah.
But I think it is the crown and the jewel, or the other way around, the jewel and the crown of camp horror for sure. But this all being said, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so it's gonna be hard for me to speak further upon it if someone else would like to.
I haven't seen it in a long time either, that to be fair. I remember sort of like not expecting it to I remember seeing it for the first time and like not expecting it to hold up as well as it did. But also now, like, thinking about it, I'm like, do queer teens like connect with Rocky Horror Picture Show anymore?
I don't know.
Great question. I almost made an unfair joke. But I don't genuinely know. I don't know any queer teens. So
I know like one, and I guess I could ask my token 16-year-old acquaintance how they feel about Rocky Horror. Although I will say that they are by no means a representative sample of anything related to being a teenager.
Yeah, that's fair.
I say this with all the love in the world. Yeah, I wonder, because it is,
I feel like I don't want to say that it's like not aged super well, because I think it has, but I think that some of the like phrasing and jokes of it are something that like to a more modern audience may not hit as well.
That's fair.
You know, and like I think that and the joke I was gonna make is like no, because it would be canceled. I think that's unfair.
I opened my mouth to make a very similar joke. Frankly.
Yes, that's unfair to like teens and like kids and like queer kids. That's such a wide brush to paint, and that gets me real close to the like kids these days kind of shit, which I want to avoid.
I am also trying to
but I think that there's a lot of specifically cornerstones of modern internet culture, parentheses, which is not limited to teenagers, and in fact extends up to people in like their 40s and 50s or whatever, end parentheses, that is like Rocky Horror is not the kind of thing that they would want to be putting forward as a cornerstone of queer media. For reasons which I understand on some level and appreciate, and I'm sure there are people who feel very uncomfortable with it, and I respect that. But I also I don't think that it should be removed from the list of things that like are important, because like Talk about fucking groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot more people would like it than we think. I think just because I agree. There is an element of timelessness to it, I think. Maybe that's just me projecting. But I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people. It's very much of the, not quite as extreme, but of the same camp of like John Waters movies and Divine being good.
Totally.
LGBT representation is like, well, it's like at that point, who cares? It's sort of thing. It's like it's trash, and it's meant to be the subversion of like what is considered to be good in whatever way that means, whether it's like quality or good morally, is like the point kind of thing. Which again, like I know a lot of people still wouldn't, be totally cool with, but I feel like I think that people probably are still into it. What do I know? I don't know anything.
No, I think people definitely still are. I think that it is like, if you're not aware of what you're getting into, I think it might be a harder sell.
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense
than
to
it
me.
was like when we were kids. I think it was kind of a hard sell for some people when we were younger. That's why I backpedaled on the like, I don't want to be like it would be canceled now, because I don't think it is, and I don't think it would be, and that's not charitable of me to take that like kind of like attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be by some people, but
oh yeah,
there's always
I think
killjoys in every crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I think there are people who we knew when we were growing up who would have canceled it, even if that's not the word they would have used. I don't know where I'm going with. I think I'm trying to put together some thoughts here, thinking about like camp and horror, and like the intersection of those two is so interesting. I think that I made a note here that was kind of veering away from camp and more into kind of like horror can be very subversive. And as it becomes more mainstream, some of it becomes like less progressive, and you're like, no, man, come on, bring it back. But I also think that like the nature of horror is that it explores places that we are afraid to look at. And sometimes that means people get like edgy about it in a way that's like offensive and sucks. And sometimes that means that you can say interesting things and do interesting things. And I think camp is something that works with that so nicely, because that's the point on one of the points of camp. I think they are a really good marriage, and I think it's kind of a bummer that there isn't more kind of camp horror. There's like some stuff that is accidentally campy, but Rocky Horror knew exactly what it was doing, and it did it very well. And I'm like, man, I wish there was. Maybe there is, and I just don't know about it.
Sure, yeah.
Listeners, if you know of anything kind of along those lines, please let me know. I'd love to watch more. There's Hollywood the Hollywood, which is a theater here in Portland, used to do a queer horror night. And I think at one point they showed one of the Nightmares on Elm Street, which is known for being pretty gay, but Freddy Krueger doesn't get a pass from me because he's super evil, and I know that part of what they were doing there was being like, look at how gross this is. Also, he's a child murderer, so fuck that guy. But, like, it is also very undeniably, like, very homoerotic in a way that's like, whoa, we were really pushing the limits here, huh? And I'm sad that, like, obviously due to, like, COVID stuff, they can't do that anymore. I think they just do, like, the one screen showings. They're not doing any of their, like, special themed. I think they're doing some, but not as many as they were.
Right now.
They used to do a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't know if they're doing queer horror night anytime soon. But that's something they used to do, and I always wanted to go so bad, because that's something I would really love to expand my palette on.
Well, they're doing repressed cinema, which is close but it's not similar, and they're doing Night of the Living Dead for that. Doing classic British horror. They're doing the Essential Giallo series.
They always have such good polls. They have such interesting stuff.
Hey, they're showing Halloween.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't want to go to a movie theater anytime soon. But I would love to see Halloween on a big screen. I just watched Halloween. I would love to watch it again.
It's playing on the 30th. And then they're playing Monty Python and the Holy Grail on the 11th of November.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Comedy one.
That rips. Yeah, if you're in Portland, go support the Hollywood. They're so good. They are like such a great theater.
They're showing The Ring in the Ring too.
Scary. No, thank you. Yeah, I guess that was the end of my like queer horror thought. Friday the 13th, the final chapter had a couple moments in there where I was like, that's gay shit. And it wasn't even, like, subtext. That was, like, it was just gay shit. And I'm like, I was not expecting this. And, well, it's supposed to be the final Friday the 13th movie, but here we are, I guess. That wasn't even Jason. And, of course, everyone died, so it wasn't, obviously that wasn't a big W for the gays, but I was still, like, it was very interesting for me to...
Big W.
Experience that, yeah. The 80s, I guess. or whatever.
Now, have you seen other of the Nightmare Before Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas, yeah, with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Have you seen?
I've just seen the first one.
Okay.
I do intend to watch the others. I really liked the first one, and I'm making my way through kind of the holy trinity of Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm just kind of like randomly picking my way through, and obviously I just was like, man, I'm just gonna watch a bunch of Friday the 13th because it was just summer, and that felt apropos.
I think, I believe it's the second or the third one, which is the truly gay one. I think it's the second one. Maybe?
Let me, oh no, my keyboard doesn't work. Let me see if I can look it up on my phone real quick.
No, I think it's the second one. Freddy's Revenge.
I thought it was like the fourth one, so I think I'm just way off.
Maybe?
Google gay nightmare.
Yeah, I literally typed in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is the
one.
gayest horror movie ever made. I think this is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Woo! There's some interesting gifts here.
Featuring of all things a male scream queen. Love that for me.
Yeah. Very, very good. Maybe, oh, wow. There's some stuff in here. Yeah.
The film is still infamous for one particular reason. It's gay as hell.
Now, this sounds like it may be also gay in the way that, like, the original Fright Night is gay, where we're, like, almost everybody
oh my god.
involved in the production is, like, gay.
Yeah.
And
also, the vampire has, like, a live-in boyfriend, literally.
Yeah, literally. Pretty special. A special performance there. But I'm looking at some gifts from this movie, too, and I'm like, okay. Alright. Good for him. Oh, man, I can't wait to read this article about it. Anyway.
Wow, these gifts are fucking something else, huh?
Yeah, they are.
You were not joking.
No, especially the you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. That's
yeah,
definitely
so
the thing
anyway.
that they did. Anyway.
Yeah. Definitely need to watch it. I was thinking actually weirdly enough, I was thinking of another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. There's another one that I think is also supposed to be pretty gay. It's not this one.
See, when I type in Nightmare on Elm Street, the gay one, it's
all two. It's all two.
But I'm sure that there are other ones. I mean, who's to say that there has to be one, right?
Yeah, why are we trying to put them in a box like that?
Yeah, we don't like labels like that unless you want them. That's also cool.
Warning, there will be spoilers ahead, but this movie is 35 years old, so deal with it. It's just like listening to our podcast. Okay. Any other kind of like wrap up thoughts here? This was all over the place.
It was.
But we wrote like 5 pages of notes, and then as per every episode, we were like, anyway, moving right along.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about whatever we want.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna use this picture of Pinhead for the.
I'll have what
website.
she's having.
Yeah.
God, I'm just
very exciting
Pinhead,
news
fun little cocktail dress.
for Jamie Clayton and being cast as the new Pinhead in the new Pinhead movie.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
That's Pinhead is a Clive Barker thing, right?
Yes.
It's Hellraiser, I believe.
Yes.
Which I have not seen any of.
Fucking shout out to Clive Barker for writing one of my all-time favorite young adult fantasy things, and then also writing some absolutely pants-shittingly terrifying horror.
I always get every time I remember that the horror Clive Barker and the Abrat Clive Barker are like the same dude.
Yeah.
I'm always like, man, what the fuck?
Yes! It's fucking...
Abrat's kind of fucked up, though,
Abrat
it makes sense.
is, to be fair, Abrat is fucked up and, gets more fucked up as it goes on.
Yeah.
I just remembered that my roommate's shitty ex never gave back my copy of Abrat, now I have to buy a new one. Fuck you, Kate.
I know, I was thinking I should get another copy, too. I think I keep losing my copies. They just, float away into mist. but I'd like to reread it.
Yeah, I
never read any of the sequels.
I live in hope that the fucking sequels will continue to come out because I need them. It's been
Sir,
so
I know
long.
you're probably making Hellraiser 12 or whatever, but please.
Please,
I don't know what Clive Barker is doing right now.
Spare a moment for
living his best life, presumably.
I hope that
he's behind the new Hellraiser movie.
Good for him.
Nice.
Wow, my joke actually wasn't far off from the mark.
Hey, Clive, use some of that. Take the fucking money from
take some of that Hellraiser money and
paint a bunch of new pictures for it. Give us fucking Cry Rising, please. Yeah. God, I don't know. Just thinking about. I'm still thinking about Rocky Horror and like being old enough that like. Wanting to go to trying in high school to figure out how to get to a midnight showing of Rocky Horror, which would have involved going to like West Seattle or some shit, was like still like ooh, you're gay or whatever. Just the sort of interesting thing of having grown up, you know, being old enough that like growing up in a world where being queer was like taboo, and so the sort of like see that, you know, one of the places that you see yourself kind of funhouse mirror reflected, because that's all people can do, is horror movies. I just think is interesting, and it kind of makes me wish I was more of a horror fan.
Yeah, you know, there's something about the like. And I'm sure I know that like 10 million people have written an essay about like horror is like the rejects, the outcasts. That's where we find ourselves. Guillermo del Toro has that wonderful quote about like monsters are the patron saint of our imperfections or whatever. And I think that extends to horror as well. Obviously, Guillermo del Toro being a master of horror himself.
Yeah.
You know, that like we see ourselves in the Scream Queens, you know, or hell, we see ourselves in the slasher. We see ourselves as you are the survivor, who sometimes you have to become the monster to escape the monster or whatever. I don't think that's too much of a stretch to kind of put those pieces together.
Yeah. I think you're right.
There we go. That was my thoughtful thought for the evening.
That was good. It's good shit.
Short.
And
and wrapped that up. Thesis statement.
Yeah, thesis statement. And I just, you know, I would like to be slightly less of a weenie, because
we can
am
discuss
missing
it.
Out on stuff.
Yeah, you know, we can find tense things.
Yeah,
and
tense
see how
is
you
good.
feel.
I just don't. Man, I never grow out of my overactive imagination, and so, you know, shit just fully gives me nightmares.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have to be so specific about the stuff that I watch, especially late at night. My dad has that problem too. My stepmom will make fun of us, and we're like, okay, but it is dark, and what if Slender Man is out there? I know logically he is not, but what if he is?
What if he is?
But what if he was, is the thing.
You know, look.
Like, what am I supposed to do about it?
That's why I had to stop. I tried to listen to the Magnus archives. Didn't work.
Yeah.
I got through the episode about the trash bags full of teeth, and I was like, I'm done.
That one was fucked up, yeah. That being said, if Michael Myers came at me, I'd just get him at the knees. He's just a dude. What's he gonna do?
This is true. He is just a dude. Go for the knees.
Getting back up is the thing. That's the only thing about
I get him at the knees again. What's it? What? That man does not get up fast.
No, he doesn't.
He just kind of sits up and lumber. Bitch, you're not getting up.
Yeah, but it's so fucked when he sits up. He's gonna just like sit up and look at you, and then you're gonna be like, fuck. Now I feel bad.
Well, you know, everybody, if you can, I guess work on your cardio just in case.
Yeah. If Chucky comes for me, though, I will lose my mind. I'm not making it out of that one.
I'm not making it out of that one either. He's gonna get down. Me.
Oh, I'm crediting. I'm sorry. That's the end of the world for me. Nope.
Yeah, I know. People always like, just punt him, and I'm like, he would stab me first, and I just go. I just feel like I'm done. It's over.
yeah, no, it's nothing. That's death first. Like it's not happening.
If that shit turns out to be real, like if of all of the horror things that could conceivably turn out to be real, fucking haunted dolls turns out to be that one, I'm just checking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it for me.
The world is bad enough as it is. I don't need that.
I can't handle that.
I don't need to live in that world.
Yeah. Fully with
Oh,
you.
well, on that charming note, thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake. Our theme music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. Our logo was designed by Bethany Luthold. Check her out at bethanyluthold.wixsite.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or a list of your favorite campy slasher icons, come say hello. Also, if you can, please leave a review on iTunes and share the show with any friends you think would enjoy it. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.